Hi there. I just wanted to go through my blog for this week because I haven't done a blog for a while, and I didn't want to just do a blog for the sake of doing a blog. So I sort of left it up to when something comes up that I think is quite important. And I think with the world as it is today, there's quite a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear of war. There's fear of deprivation with all of the cost of living crisis and energy prices going up, and it can also, obviously take us away from what our true purpose is, and from coming from someone who had no idea what my purpose was, and I had no idea how I would get to know that. I had to ask, other people, what their sort of how they got to know what they wanted to do. What was it? How did you find out what your ideal career would be? And largely, people turned around and said, "We just got to keep trying things," And one of the things that I've learned from looking after my finances, so trying not to debt. I haven't borrowed any unsecured debt now for a number of years. Was that the one thing that I learned from that was that I needed to spend money in all the areas to keep myself happy, so I needed to make sure that I had all my necessity bills covered, rent, electric, water, gas, petrol, if I had to drive to work. All of those things came under one umbrella, but I also needed to make sure that I was entertaining myself. So, was I going to do the stuff I love? Was I spending money on clothes that I liked, that I needed? So you sort of like needed a bit of a balance where your spending was, and that also told me exactly what I need to be spending time on. So money and time came together, so that I had to make sure that I spent time in all of those areas as well. So I've spent time on work, I spent time on my other business because I saw that extra revenue would be handy. So what could I do as a little side hustle? What was I good at that I sort of did without being paid for? That was someone suggested there's something you're probably doing already, that you're good at, that you find easy to do, but you're just not charging people for. So what would that be? And then I did a list of all the things that I thought I was good at or I liked doing, and then I sort of just went through them really and just thought, well, could I make a viable business out of this, or could I make some money out of doing this? Is this something that people would pay me money to do for them? And when I did all of that, I started I suppose my perception started opening up, and I had a much more sort of wider range of scope, and I found then life became much more open, and it expanded my vision, I suppose, as to what life can offer you, and what I can get from life really. So I've done my blog this week basically on what I believe is 4 things that you can do to improve your life if you find life taxing. So humility, maturity, responsibility, and courage. Now, there are 4 different areas, I agree, maybe a bit unlikely, but I just thought it fitted in with the taxing time, but equally all of those 4 are things that I have to make sure that I'm displaying when I go through my normal day. So when I get up, I make sure that I pray, I have my meditation. There's responsibility, there's maturity there, humility in prayer. I'm literally asking for help and stuff like that. And courage, courage is asking for help, and humility is being willing to receive it. Because if you grow up in an environment where you had that narrative that if I don't do it, nobody else will, you can also use that as a way to avoid achieving stuff, because you don't ask for help. I believe that we're supposed to ask for help. We're supposed to have people around us helping us. We can't do everything on our own. But that was one thing that I said to myself as a young kid. If I don't do it myself, then it won't get done. And I just blocked everyone else from helping me. And I tried unsuccessfully to do things on my own, and I never achieved anything. My ambitions were never fulfilled. And this life that I've got now is I'm starting to feel that my ambitions are being fulfilled because I'm taking action in the areas that I need to. But I also need to ask for, I need to ask people who've got experience in areas, is there any advice you can give me? If there's somebody who knows more than me, ask for help. I may need to pay somebody to help me build this or whatever it is. So there's lots of stuff in the blog, I think. I'm hoping you'll enjoy it. And yeah, if any of you feel that you would like a helping hand, or maybe somebody to just sort of hold you accountable for things, I've also done a lot of work on my father's issues and stuff like that. So I've got a program for people who may have issues around their parents. Their parents may be in some way were affecting their lives today. Their parents may have been a problem for us when we were growing up, but they shouldn't be a problem for us today. If our parents are stopping us from growing or achieving our ambitions today, then we need to sort of, there's something we need to look at there. It's not, we can't blame our parents for stuff that's happening today. So if you want some advice, or maybe you just want to talk, or you want to explore things, pop me an email, martin@becomeunstuck.co.uk, and we'll set up a complimentary call, 20-minute call, and we'll go through what you might need some help on. All right, guys, have a lovely week.